Hey, welcome to 23 Degrees Sideways. Excuse the extremely bleached out look that I got right now. It's just the nature of the lights that I have going on right now, and I can't really fix it. So you're going to have to deal with it. It's actually the fusion power source of the lights that's causing things to just be wider and wider and wider because, fusion is good. We're going to talk about that just a little bit here. Peter Zhang makes some very good points about the logistics of fusion power as it looks right now. He makes some structural assumptions that are just in his head that don't mean anything, like, oh, you'll only be building one of these for every 5 or 10 large cities, not like having a couple in each city. Like you're going to power Los Angeles and San Diego and San Francisco from one fusion power plant. And so therefore you need super room temperature superconductors and better tritium manufacture and all this infrastructure stuff. And of course you have to apply the power to the plant to get the thing started. So if you want a megawatt of power, which isn't what you need for 3 cities, you need like a lot more than that, but you need, to put right now what? 500 megawatts in? That's a lot. That's a lot to get 1 megawatt out. That's a lot, You get 501 megawatts out, by the way, but you still have to kickstart this. And it's like you have to set off a nuclear fucking bomb to kickstart it. That's just insane. Fusion power has been 30 years off. Within 30 years, we will have fusion power. As long as I've been alive, longer than I've been alive, since this 70 years, 75, 80 years, fusion power has been 30 years off. Some optimists will say 10 years, but 30 years. So the breakthrough that we've had right now realistically just means that fusion power is 29 years away for the next 50 years or so, depending on the speed of research. Now, maybe the dam has been broken and maybe it really is only 30 years away this time, or 29, because now we've set the clock a little bit, reset the clock a little bit, but it's not now. Peter makes some points, but then he just totally glosses over things. He's got a very central plant mentality. Bigger programs of centralization seem to be his default mental space for everything, which is really funny because he's talking about a deconstructed, distributed world with more regional and local manufacturing and logistics, but everything in his head is bigger, central. So that's a interesting little mental fog space there. What this means is we need a lot of nuclear power plants right now. Let's think this through just a little bit. If you're going to have limitless, free, totally ecologically responsible, zero emissions, whoop-de-doo energy in 30 or 29 years, then why would you destroy the planet trying to make everything solar and wind? And make no mistake, the mines are destroying the planet for 30 years. Like, what's the point? What you need is nuclear power plants that have a 30 to 50 year lifespan. Seems pretty easy. And, we actually can do that pretty well. We're actually really pretty good at that. For all the scare that everyone has programmed in their heads about nuclear power, and can you figure it out? Can you actually figure it out? Where does that fear come from? What's really going on there? It's not real. I knew people. I worked for some people who were involved with 3 Mile Island at one point, and I've known people. I lived out there at one point, and it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a big deal. It was the seminal disaster in American history, and it was not a big deal. Fukushima, that was worse, but that was also stupid. Chernobyl was just asinine. I mean, that's literally asinine. Okay, that's really, really stupid. We can do better. We do better. Much better. So that's probably the answer. Maybe the fusion thing will get enough people on the left, since the illiberal, neoliberal regime has decided that fusion is the thing. Maybe enough of the wacky liberal left, beyond left side will run with that. Maybe we'll actually get some nuclear for a little while. That would be kind of cool, Side effects, unintended consequences, maybe it's a good thing. But what's going on with fusion is not world changing. It's exciting in a popular mechanics headline article sense, but it's not changing the world. Okay, changing the world is like I was watching a robot today. It was a robot with paint. It was marking out soccer fields, municipal soccer fields. We have a park system that can afford robots. Three people are being paid to watch and tend the robot. Okay, you want to worry about stuff or pay attention to stuff in the world? That might be something to actually take a look at. This wasn't experimental. This is just a production robot that does this. Like, they have these at ball fields all over the place. But really, really think about what's going on with that. You now have people who you're paying to tend the robots that are doing the work. I'd put more mental energy into that than worrying about fusion right now. That's all. Stay sideways.